Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I have a Masterlock 6230. This lock was sent to me by bbtelpix66 on Reddit, and it's bbtelpix on Instagram. I'll leave information in the description. He also has a YouTube channel that is just bbtel, and tel is T-E-L, and pix is P-I-X. He sent me these locks just to borrow and try, and he wanted me to do kind of an instructional to what I'm feeling when I go through these locks and that sort of thing. So that's what I'm going to do with this. First thing is I don't really rush through locks. I'm not just jamming at pins. I've seen some people they get a lock and they just start going and they start hammering every pin. That's not my approach. My approach, well, first is my tension wrench is not a straight tension wrench. If I had a straight tension wrench, my finger would be clear back here and I would not be able to release for counter rotation. So first thing is that getting the tension wrench in place. Second, I'm using a multi-pick F06 in 0.5 millimeter or 0.019 inch. It's a lower hook with a nice sweeping angle. It's not a steep angle to the hook. I like that better because it gives me more room to work and manage the pins. If they're straight up and down, it tends to slip off the pins a little easier. So the first thing I'm going to do is just go down the pin stack, touching 1. 2 gave me a little bit of movement there. 3 gave me a click. 4, nothing. And 5, nothing there. So let's see if I can get another click on 3. Yep, got a click on 3. Trying to get under 4, and then 5. As I come back out with my pick, I'm kind of dragging my pick across the pins, and another pin kind of fell a little bit. And number 2, number 1, let me see. Number 1 gave me a good wiggle of the tension wrench. So I got counter rotation on 1. So I'm going to go slow there. I got a click. So I'm pretty sure it's in. Just going to make sure. Yeah, I can't get anything else out of 1. I'm not pressing real hard, but I'm just making sure there's nothing else there. So go back to the back of the lock again, down to the pins. Touched number 5. That gave me my false set back. Come to number 4. Number 4 doesn't give me anything. I just bumped into number 3. Let me see, I'm at 5, 4. I bumped into 3, and 3 is kind of a stiff pin. And it gave me some feeling in the tension wrench. So I make sure I didn't slip off at 3, make sure that it's set. Feels like it did. And then I come to 2, touch 2, and it gave me some feeling in the tension wrench. But I lost my false set. Okay, 1, 2, and 3 all seem to be set. 4 gave me a little click. I'm going to get myself under number 5. Number 5 put me back into the false set. So I lost something else. 2 gave me a little bit of a touch, gave me a little bit of deeper false set. I think I lost 1. I'm feeling, as I'm touching pin 1, I'm feeling a little counter rotation. So I'm trying to get my pick right on the tip of 1, and then I just slipped off. There, touched it again, and I got it set. Come back down to the lock, get to number 5 again. And 5 put me back into a false set. So just touched 3, and it gave me some movement. And make sure it's set, feels like it is. 1, 2, and 3 all feel set. 4 feels set. 5 gave me my false setback, but I'm going to make sure my tension wrench is in, and it gave me the open. There we go. So I'm not trying to speed through the lock. I'm not trying to just jam at pins. I'm trying to touch them with intent. This lock in particular, with just my tension is just on it, and it's just holding it in place. Maybe a little extra. If I think that I overset something, I just let off that little bit, and it usually drops. That works with Americans, Masterlocks, and even some other locks. Yeah, so with that little bit of tension, I'm just going through and feeling everything. Now, I did pick this lock earlier, and I'm reshooting the video to give a little bit more instruction. And I happen to know, because I picked this one a minute ago and tried to use the key, and the key won't open the lock. So I tried to gut it, but I couldn't use the key to open the lock. So evidently when I put it back together earlier, evidently when I put it back together earlier, I didn't do it correctly. I must have somehow mixed up 2 pins or more. Or maybe I pinned it completely backwards. I don't know. Don't think so, but because it felt similar to earlier. So I'm going to take this apart, and tail piece needs to be to the top. All right, get the red follower out and make sure I'm lined up. And here we go. All right, so I'm going to take a peek here and see what I did when I put it together last time. Oh, that's what I did. I have key pin number 3 is in upside down. So I'm not really worried about the key pins. It's a standard Masterlock key pin, so I'm gutting it just so we can see what's in the Bible. So let's take a look at that. Let's get this out. But I believe, if I had to guess, pin number 5, it doesn't take a whole lot to lift pin 5. If we can see in there, it only takes a little nudge to get pin 5 to come up. It's a high pin. It could be a spool, but it really doesn't matter, because even if it's a spool, it's only using the bottom lip and it's just raising up. So if it's a spool, it's kind of a waste. It could just be a standard pin. One felt like a spool for sure. We have a spool. 2, I believe, also is giving us counter rotation. It's probably a spool. It is a spool. Pin number 3 was giving counter rotation. It's also a spool. Let's see. Number 5 is also a spool. And number 6 is a standard pin. Actually, it might be one of those that's slightly serrated. Yeah, it's a slightly serrated pin. But that pin gives it some stability in the lock. It doesn't just flop around. If it were, if they're all spools and they were all at the shear line, then it would have some play. So that's going to give it some solid feel. But it doesn't matter what it is, because it's right on the shear, really close to the shear line anyway. So that's the 6230. That's my approach to it, is just going through it slow. I'm not trying to race. I'm not a speed picker. Sometimes locks come open quick because I'm just going through them with my style, and that, particular lock just opens quick with my style of just feeling out every pin. We all pick differently. That's how I do it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments, and I will try my best to get back to you. Thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day.